Have you ever felt fat? And I don't mean P-H-A-T fat, as in a highly attractive stunner, which is what I'm feeling now. Good afternoon, my very attractive audience. This is me a year and a half ago. And this is also me, earlier this year at a speech meet. Shedding 40 pounds was not a simple task for me. It took over a year of commitment and determination to make it to where I am today. Once, I was considered the slowest kid in my dreaded PE class. But now, I could participate in my school's track and field team, fearlessly taking on the 200-meter dash, 400-meter dash, and the 100-meter relay. It is astonishing to think that my bench press now stands at 200 pounds for 5 repetitions. This strength and ability did not just enhance my physical appearance, but also improve my self-esteem while reducing my anxiety levels by a bunch. Straight A's in all of my classes is no longer mission impossible for me either. Surprisingly, I am now more attentive and actively engaging in class discussions. This FAT photo was taken on New Year's Eve, but the smile on my face doesn't reflect how I truly felt. I felt unhappy, unhealthy, and scared due to the fact that I was overweight. And when I hit 13, I hit my peak, 200 pounds. I wish I could say that was the amount of weight I was deadlifting in the weight room. In a way, yes, as I was carrying that weight with me 24/7. At the time, I thought I couldn't do anything about it, that I couldn't change how I looked. Every morning, I reluctantly rolled out of bed and put on my school uniform. The thought of going to school, a wave of anxiety crashed over me. I yearned for the power to reshape my body so no one would ever make fun of me. I begged my mom to let me stay home for the entire day, even if it was only for a 38-minute dentist appointment. I can tell you from personal experience that when I became overweight at the age of 9, I experienced a great deal of emotional and physical distress. Every year around my birthday, my parents would take me to the doctor's office for my annual checkup. The doctors showed my parents the charts, which revealed that my weight increased from the 80th percentile at age 6 to the 95th percentile at age 7. And at age 12, I was an outlier, off the charts. At least I excelled at something. I started not liking myself, and I was always scared to face the doctor when they told me, "You need to lose weight." I made a solemn oath that I would limit my sugar intake and never again eat 2 burgers at one time. And that resolution lasted all of 3 days. It is frightening to acknowledge that the obesity rate among children and adolescents in the United States is nearly 20%. Yes, you heard that right. 20%. That's nearly 15 million people. This chart from the early 1970s to now reveals a disheartening truth. The obesity rate among children and adolescents in the United States has nearly tripled since the 1970s. Shockingly, England presents similar data for those ages 2 through 15. And Mexico, unfortunately, surpasses them both and holds the title for the highest obesity rate worldwide for those ages 5 through 17. While I couldn't locate data from the early 1970s, the obesity rate for those ages 5 through 17 in Mexico is 40%. 40%. And it continues to climb year after year. The main contributors to my obesity, my parents' inherited eating and lifestyle habits. From looking through old pictures on my parents' phone, I discovered that I had started gaining weight from the tender age of 6, when my parents started sharing their unhealthy snacks and soda while I sat in front of the TV all day, playing video games and watching movies. Here's a fact. Please. my daily intake was 4 cans. 5 if mom wasn't looking. To give you an idea, this was the amount of sugar I was intaking every single day from just the soda. A whole cup. Obviously, not as per CDC recommendation, which is 10 teaspoons of sugar a day. Mine was 40 teaspoons, and that's not even including what I was eating. It wasn't fun to be called fat in school. In fact, it's not fun to be fat anywhere. Being fat made it difficult to do basic tasks. I couldn't walk around campus without getting winded. Going outside on a hot day made me sweat profusely. And any sport I played with my friends, I was always picked last. I didn't understand this at first because I thought they were my buddies. The only explanation could be that I was slow and overweight. So, I dodged a lot of group activities where I'd be mocked and made fun of. So, is there a correlation between obesity and self-esteem? You bet. From age 12, obese teenagers were shown to have signs of lower self-esteem than non-obese teenagers. When I turned 13 and I went to the doctor's office for my annual checkup, the doctors informed my parents that I have a very high cholesterol and maybe also pre-type 2 diabetes. When I got home, I Googled it, and that's when I discovered that obesity-related conditions can be fatal if we don't take action. That's when I vowed to do whatever it takes to help myself go from FAT fat to PHAT fat, but really this time. So join me on this journey as we strive to combat the obesity epidemic and lead kids and adolescents to a healthier, more confident future. My parents set up gym equipment in our basement where I worked out 3 to 4 times a week. I love you too, Mom and Dad, and this time I meant it. I didn't notice my weight changing throughout the first month, but my dad encouraged me. He said because I was transferring all the fat into muscle, I weighed the same but looked completely different. My friends started to notice too and would compliment me, which made me feel good. Life was getting easier too. I could finally go on walks and breathe through my nose. I was getting stronger too, improving every single day. Little did I know that this was just the start. I began to realize that exercise wasn't just a hobby. This was something more. By the time school started, I weighed 175 pounds. I could get around campus just fine, and everybody noticed how my body changed and respected me for it. This was also around the time that football season started. I signed up with a few of my close friends, and we were very excited to play. I played as a lineman on both offense and defense, and I even got a starting position. This made me feel so good about myself. This boosted my confidence and made me feel good about myself. I played my heart out and was very successful in doing so. All that hard work I put in had finally paid off. By the end of football season, I weighed 165 pounds. I dropped 15 pounds more. This was a remarkable achievement for me, and I couldn't be any prouder. Thank God I was wrong, that I couldn't change how I looked. Yes, I can. Fast forward to now, I've realized that anybody who's willing to put in the effort can make the same progress I made. My journey through weight loss has not only affected me, but also those around me. My dad, for example, had been drinking soda for the past 50 years of his life. No matter how hard we tried to get him to switch to a diet-friendly alternative, he wouldn't budge. I probably got my stubbornness from him. It wasn't until he saw me quit and lose all the weight that he decided to do the same. I also assisted my brother in giving up unhealthy snacks like chips and candy. Leading a healthy lifestyle at a young age is more important than ever in today's world, where fast food chains dominate the scene. Most of us tend to consume excessive calories without doing enough physical activity to burn it off. I am now going to leave you with some profound wisdom that only a 14-year-old can impart. As a teenager myself, I know that we do not tend to pay attention to the amount of calories that we're taking in. But just by paying attention to how many calories you're consuming, you could plan your entire diet around it. And it may also open your eyes to how many calories you're really eating. Most people believe that to lose weight, you need to completely cut out the foods you love. This cannot be further from the truth. The key is to control your portions. For example, of course, I still enjoy burgers, who doesn't? But I don't eat them every single day anymore. Only every now and then, and only one a meal. Always be sure to track the calories you're taking in. And for male adolescents, keep it below around 2,500 to 3,000 calories, and for female adolescents, keep it below 2,200. Always be sure to track the calories you're taking in and try to get the excess calories out of your system by doing sports and exercise. People, find a sport that you like and put it in your routine. Whether it's a team sport at school like football, basketball, or volleyball, or any other team sport, getting involved will not only keep you active, but will also keep you disciplined from your fellow teammates and friends. Parents, I urge you to support your children the way my parents did for me. Without determination and guidance, we cannot succeed. You can make a significant difference in your child's life. Thank you.